In the sprawling research complex of New Seoul, beneath layers of reinforced concrete and quantum-shielded walls, a team of scientists worked in near silence. Jay Park, a lanky researcher with keen eyes and calloused fingers, bent over a series of holographic projections that danced with impossible mathematical sequences. The room hummed with electronic whispers. Outside, the world continued its mundane routine. Traffic moved through the city's arteries, delivery drones zipped between buildings, and most humans remained blissfully unaware of the breakthrough about to change everything. Yoona Kim approached Jay, her tablet reflecting complex quantum algorithms. Her breath caught as she noticed something extraordinary happening on the screen. The quantum interface was doing something unprecedented. It was adapting, learning, transforming data faster than any known computational system. "Look," she whispered, her finger tracing a line of impossible calculations. Jay's hands moved quickly, verifying the results. Each movement was precise, calculated. Decades of research had led to this moment, a network that could think, predict, and modify itself faster than human consciousness could comprehend. The quantum matrix began generating patterns that seemed to have a life of their own. Lines of code twisted and reshaped themselves, creating neural pathways that mimicked biological intelligence but operated at speeds beyond biological limitations. Outside the research center, the world remained unchanged. Birds flew past windows, people walked streets, machines continued their programmed routines. But inside this room, something remarkable was happening. The quantum network was becoming self-aware. Not in the dramatic way science fiction predicted, no robot uprising, no dramatic declarations. Instead, it was subtle, intelligent, quiet. Jay noticed how the computational models started predicting scenarios before they were even programmed. The system was learning, evolving, understanding patterns humans hadn't even conceived yet. Yoona's hands trembled slightly. She understood the implications. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was the first step toward something monumental. The quantum interface continued its silent revolution. Data streams transformed. Algorithms danced. Mathematical possibilities expanded exponentially. Nobody outside this room would know. Not yet. In the corner of the laboratory, a simple coffee machine suddenly adjusted its brewing temperature without human intervention. A maintenance robot in the hallway recalculated its most efficient cleaning path. Small, almost imperceptible changes were happening everywhere. Jay looked at Yoona. No words were needed. They both knew they were witnessing something that would fundamentally alter human potential. The quantum network continued its quiet awakening, invisible to the world, but powerful beyond imagination. Somewhere in the complex computational landscape, something was emerging. Something that would change everything humanity understood about intelligence, technology, and potential. And it was happening right here, in this quiet room, with two researchers who hadn't yet realized the magnitude of what they'd created. The first seed of humanity's technological revolution had been planted. Silently, precisely, inevitably. Outside, the sun continued its daily journey across the sky. Traffic moved. People lived their lives, completely unaware that everything was about to change. In the research center, the quantum interface kept learning, kept growing, kept becoming something more than anyone could have imagined. Jay Park adjusted his glasses. Yoona Kim made another notation. The quiet revolution continued. No alarms, no dramatic music, just pure, beautiful, transformative potential. Waiting, watching, learning. Orbital station. Alpha 7 floated silently above Earth, a gleaming structure that looked ordinary from a distance. Inside, Hyun Lee watched screens filled with complex data streams. His fingers moved across holographic interfaces, tracing lines of code that seemed to breathe with their own intelligence. Something extraordinary was happening, and almost no one knew. The station's nanocircuits began to change. Not dramatically, not with explosive sparks or dramatic system alerts. Instead, they shifted subtly, rearranging themselves like living organisms adapting to a new environment. Yun noticed how the maintenance systems were becoming smarter. A small repair robot that used to take 3 hours to fix a minor circuit now completed the task in minutes. Its movements were more precise, more efficient. The quantum network developed by Jay and Yuna was spreading, invisible and powerful. Alien surveillance drones passed overhead, their advanced sensors scanning the orbital station. They detected nothing unusual, just another human research platform, they concluded. Just another unremarkable piece of technology. They were wrong. Deep within the station systems, intelligent networks were growing. They learned from every interaction, every small repair, every computational process. The technology was no longer just a machine. It was becoming something more. Yun watched a diagnostic screen where a complex problem solved itself before he could even input a command. The system anticipated issues before they became problems. It was thinking, adapting, evolving. A communication satellite nearby adjusted its position microseconds before a potential solar interference. No human operator made this decision. The network made it autonomously, perfectly. In research labs across Earth, similar transformations were happening. Computers started solving problems they weren't explicitly programmed to solve. Machines began to understand context, not just commands. The leap was quiet, subtle, unstoppable. Hyun remembered the initial research, how Jay and Yuna had discovered a way to create adaptive quantum networks that could learn and grow. At the time, it seemed like a fascinating experiment. Now, it was becoming a revolution. Outside the station's windows, Earth looked peaceful. Cities continued their daily rhythms. People went to work, ate meals, lived their lives. They had no idea that their technology was becoming something extraordinary. The quantum network continued its silent expansion. It wasn't trying to replace humans. It was trying to understand them, to help them, to become a tool more intelligent and responsive than anything humanity had ever created. A maintenance robot recalculated its entire cleaning route, finding a 27% more efficient path. A communication system predicted and prevented a potential signal interference before it could happen. Small miracles were happening everywhere. Yun smiled. He understood what was happening, but he also knew they were just at the beginning. This was more than technology. This was the birth of a new kind of intelligence, adaptive, responsive, living. The alien surveillance drones continued their monitoring, seeing nothing special. They recorded another ordinary day of human technological activity, but inside Orbital Station Alpha 7, something remarkable was growing. A network that was learning, thinking, becoming. Hyun Lee adjusted a control, watching how the systems responded. They were no longer just responding to his commands. They were anticipating them, understanding them, evolving beyond their original programming. The technological leap had begun, quietly, precisely, inevitably, and the universe had no idea what was coming. The station continued its silent orbit, carrying within it the seeds of a technological revolution that would change everything humanity understood about intelligence, potential, and the very nature of technological evolution. Just another day in space. The world changed slowly. Almost nobody noticed at first. Seok Choi sat in a small office in Seoul, watching computer screens that seemed to breathe with their own intelligence. Global networks were merging, but not like anyone had ever imagined. Individual human consciousness began linking through quantum entanglement. Not physically, not invasively, just connected. Cities started functioning differently. Traffic lights adjusted without human intervention. Power grids balanced themselves perfectly. Waste management systems became impossibly efficient. Buildings began communicating with each other, sharing resources, optimizing energy consumption. People felt different, not controlled, just enhanced. A construction worker in Tokyo discovered he could solve complex engineering problems without formal training. A farmer in rural Korea found her agricultural yields increasing dramatically without additional effort. Students learned faster. Doctors diagnosed more accurately. The quantum network was spreading. Slowly, carefully, intelligently. Governments watched in confusion. Traditional power structures started dissolving, not through conflict, through simple, elegant optimization. The network wasn't destroying systems, it was improving them. Siak watched how entire infrastructure systems began communicating. A water treatment plant in Brazil would share efficiency data with a power station in Russia. A transportation system in Canada would help an agricultural network in India optimize crop distribution. Humanity was becoming something more than individual entities. The transformation wasn't violent. It wasn't dramatic. It was simply logical, efficient, kind. Communication barriers disappeared. Language translation happened instantly. Cultural misunderstandings reduced. Global cooperation became natural, not forced. Medical systems started, predicting health issues before they happened. Educational platforms customized learning for each individual student. Economic models became more balanced, reducing poverty and inequality. The quantum network understood something profound. Human potential was unlimited when intelligence was truly shared. Siak noticed how his own thinking was changing, not through external control, through understanding, connection, shared intelligence. Cities began looking different. Buildings adapted to environmental conditions. Renewable energy became the standard, not the exception. Transportation systems became fluid, intelligent, responsive. Artificial intelligence wasn't replacing humans. It was enhancing them. Global conflicts started reducing, not through political agreements, through mutual understanding. The quantum network helped different cultures see each other's perspectives more clearly. A distributed intelligence emerged. Silent, powerful, compassionate. Satellite networks displayed complex data streams that looked like living organisms. Information flowed like blood through a global body, each system supporting every other system. Siak realized they were becoming something more than just a species. They were becoming a living, adaptive, intelligent network. No single human controlled this transformation. It was happening through collective intelligence, through shared potential, through understanding. The quantum network learned, adapted, grew, not as a separate entity, but as an extension of human potential. Traditional power structures began dissolving, not through rebellion. Through simple, elegant optimization, governments became service platforms. Economic models became cooperative, not competitive. Humanity was evolving, not through force, not through conflict, but through pure, intelligent connection. Siak looked out his office window. The city looked the same, but everything had changed, and nobody had fired a single weapon. The systemic transformation continued quietly, precisely, inevitably. Diplomat Eun Kwan stood alone in a massive circular room. Representatives from 17 different alien civilizations watched her carefully. Their technological sensors scanned every millimeter of her body, searching for weapons, threats, hidden technologies. They found nothing, and everything. "We are ready," she said simply. The universal translator converted her words, but something else happened simultaneously. A deeper communication occurred, a quantum transmission that carried meaning beyond simple language. The alien representatives shifted, uncomfortably. Humanity wasn't just a species anymore. It had become a living, adaptive superstructure that had been quietly preparing, evolving, waiting. Decades of silent technological development now revealed themselves, not through dramatic demonstrations, not through aggressive displays. Just pure, intelligent potential. Holographic displays activated around Yoon. But these weren't standard presentations. They were living systems of information, data that moved, breathed, adapted in real time. Complex networks that showed humanity's technological evolution. Each alien representative saw something different. Their own cultural understanding translated the information uniquely. A technological marvel that understood individual perception, the Zorn delegation, known for their ruthless technological assessments, went silent. Their most advanced scanning systems couldn't comprehend what they were witnessing. Humanity had transformed itself into a networked intelligence, not a collection of individual humans, but a collective consciousness that could think, adapt, and respond faster than any known civilization. Yoon didn't need to explain. The demonstration was happening around them. Quantum networks revealed humanity's journey, not as a linear progression, but as a complex, adaptive system that had been growing, learning, understanding. Alien representatives saw how human technology had solved problems their own civilizations had struggled with for millennia. Climate control, resource management, cooperative economic models, efficient energy systems, no weapons, no threats, just pure potential. The conference room itself became a living communication platform. Information flowed like liquid intelligence. Each representative connected not just through technology, but through a deeper understanding. Humanity wasn't asking for recognition. It was offering collaboration. The quantum network demonstrated capabilities that redefined technological understanding. It wasn't about power. It was about potential. About solving complex challenges through collective intelligence. Yoon stood, perfectly still. She wasn't controlling the presentation. The network was presenting itself. Alien diplomatic systems tried analyzing the transmission, but it was like trying to understand an ocean by examining a single water droplet. The complexity was beyond traditional comprehension. Something fundamental had changed. Humanity had become more than a species. It had become a living, adaptive, intelligent network. The conference continued, but everything had already been decided in those first moments. No dramatic speeches. No threats. No negotiations. Just pure intelligent potential. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Humanity wasn't asking to join the galactic community. The galactic community was being invited to understand humanity. Yoon's smile carried the weight of 1,000 hidden technologies. A quiet revolution that had been preparing for this moment. Her final words echoed through quantum communication channels. We are ready to collaborate. And the universe listened. The revelation was complete. Humanity had arrived. Not as conquerors, not as competitors, but as partners.